Building a following in 2026 is a futile, unnecessary, painstaking event that is going to prevent you from the success that you're looking for. A lot of people want to get started. They want to start an online business, but they feel like the only way to do it is through social media. Well, I'm here to tell you, the good news is you don't need a following. You don't even need social media to start a successful online business in 2025. All you need is the right idea. You need the right business idea, and you need to know where your target audience is hanging out. And when you know those things, you understand those things, you won't worry about trying to build a following. You won't worry about trying to go viral. And in this video, we're going to talk about 7 ways that you can start an online business without posting multiple times per day, trying to dance for dollars, or showing up for the algorithm. What I want you to do is I want you to comment down below which of these methods you want to try, which of these methods appeal most to you, and which one you're going to take action on going into 2026. Hi, my name is Alston Godbolt, and I believe in building a platform-proof business. And what that means is not relying on the social media platforms that pay you. Don't rely on the YouTube Partner Program or the TikTok Shop or anything like that, because they're unpredictable, they're unstable, and they can be taken from you at any point. What I want for you, and I want what you should want for yourself, is to build systems on the back end that allow you to get paid whether you go viral or not. And the best way to do that is to become platform proof. If that's how you feel, if you want to become platform proof, make sure you follow me and share this video with someone that thinks that they have to build a following on social media. So what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about 7 ways that you can start an online business without worrying about social media. Some of these ways you maybe have heard before, but I guarantee you at least 1 or 2 you've never heard before and should hopefully open your eyes. So let's go ahead and get started. Number one is called the Search to SaaS affiliate pages. So what you're going to do here is you are going to create between 5 and 20 what I call money pages, targeting high intent searches. So best X for Y, X versus Y. So I'll give you a few examples. Best sales funnel builder for beginners, best web hosting platform for bloggers or vloggers. We can do ClickFunnels versus Kartra. We could do Builderall versus Go High Level. You can also do pricing videos, and you can do review videos. So what you're going to do is you're going to then go out and find high converting and high payout affiliate programs. So for example, I know ClickFunnels pays out a lot, and they offer reoccurring, which is most important. And with reoccurring, you get paid an affiliate commission every single month as long as the customer remains a customer. Now, the benefit of this is that you don't have to continuously work to find new customers. You're not always starting off at 0. When you start a business, usually you're trying to figure out how to find your first customer and your next customer. However, if you make a reoccurring income where you're getting paid from the same customers every single month, you're not trying to always find your first customer and your next customer for the month. So it allows you to have a base that you're starting off with, and you can just keep stacking on top of that. And the harder you work, the more you can stack, and the more commissions you can make. So for example, you can do like best web hosting platform for beginners, and you could recommend something like Kinsta. I believe that's the Google web hosting. And they're going to pay you a pretty good commission. And then they're going to pay you every single month. You can use things like System.io, Shopify, and Kit has an affiliate program where they pay 50% commission for 12 months. Usually software programs are going to offer the reoccurring, and I think that's the best way to go. And what you can do is you're simply going to get discovered with Google search results, okay? And there's a couple ways that you can do this. You can use Google when you're essentially starting a blog. You can use free Google, or you can use paid Google. So one thing that I used to do a long time ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago at this point, is I would use a website called Ahrefs, Ahrefs, and I would type in best and then click search, and then I would search by the cost per click. And the CPC is about what you're expecting to pay if you're going to run Google Ads. Now, the benefit of running Google Ads is that you can actually show up at the top of the search results. And when it's CPC or cost per click, and the CPC is like 50 cents, you're going to pay 50 cents anytime someone sees your ad and clicks on it. The best part about it is you can actually set a limit. So you can say, I don't want to pay more than $5 per day. And you can get started with as little as $1 per day and start showing up in their search results and potentially start making money and then reoccurring income on on the back end. But like I said, it's a really cool idea because no one even needs to know who you are. You just need to go out and get a website. You can use like Bluehost to do this, or any web hosting platform that's going to run you probably about $50 or $60. And then you just need no more than $5 a day to start getting some data and then make some changes. But if you want to do this, I would highly recommend getting a get a 1 month membership to Ahrefs, Ahrefs, and then you can do a sort by cost per click. Now I did a video maybe 3 or 4 years ago at this point where I walked you through the entire process. Comment process down below, and I'll provide a link. I've got to go find that link, so let me know if you want it. Comment process down below, and I'll send you a link to it. But that is number one. Number two is starting an email first business. The best part about email marketing is you can remain completely anonymous. There's a bunch of ways to get people into your emailing system, and I would say more importantly is email is the best direct way to get in front of your target audience. When you are on YouTube or TikTok or any of these platforms, you've got to play the algorithm game. And the algorithm is constantly changing and adapting based on consumer demand and consumer needs. And so what worked last week might not work anymore. But if you are doing email marketing, it is one of the more guaranteed ways to get in front of your audience. People are constantly checking their emails. People are constantly forwarding emails and doing all sorts of good stuff. So what you can do here is you simply, you have what's called a landing page, and then you send out emails. You can send out emails to sell your own products. You can send emails to sell other people's products and services, or you could even really send email back to content that you control and maintain. Now, the challenging part for this is going to be getting people on your mailing list. And the best way to do that, there's a few ways, is you can run ads. You can actually do solo ads. That's where you work with a website like Udemy or Udemy, where you go out and you pay people for access to their email list, and you can pay based on clicks. You can also go into like Reddit, and you can post content for free on Reddit. The great thing about that with using the Reddit angle is that you're not necessarily building a following. You're jumping into communities that already have followings, and you're piggybacking off of that. But if you go that route, if you're going to go the Reddit route, make sure that you are offering at least 2 levels of value before trying to get people on your mailing list. So I gave this example a couple of weeks ago about GIFs. Someone went through a subreddit and compiled a list of the best GIFs that were recommended on that subreddit. What they did is they compiled it onto a website, and then they put their affiliate links inside of the website. Instead of affiliate links, you could put a link to a landing page where you're offering what's called a lead magnet. So what I would do if I was going this route, I would say, hey guys, I've compiled a list of the best GIFs for the last 5 years. I put it together, very logical, very simple, and easy to digest inside of my blog post. Go to this blog post to check it out. And then inside of my blog post, I would have, hey, if you want a free guide to gift giving, enter your name and your email here. They enter their name and email. That's how I build my mailing list, and then I can send them emails every single day. What's really cool about this, you can remain completely anonymous. Everything that I mentioned in this entire process is anonymous. You can do the same thing with Facebook groups or different forums and communities that way, where you're piggybacking off of the attention that's already out there. You're piggybacking off of the communities that have already worked. You can kind of do this with school. It depends on the school group. Some school groups are a little bit more locked down than others, but I think you could do the same thing with school as well. But I highly recommend, regardless of the business that you're starting, do email marketing, because it is the best, most consistent way to get in front of your audience. And if you're relying on algorithms and platforms, you're going to be frustrated because, like I said, they change all the time. They're inconsistent, they waver, and sometimes they just stop working. So that is number 2. Number 3, marketplace products. Sell where buyers are already searching. Now here, you can use platforms like Etsy and Redbubble and Creative Market and Udemy, the course selling marketplace, to sell stuff there. And the benefit of that is people are already hanging out there. They go there with the expectation to buy stuff, and so half the battle is already done. When you're creating content and trying to market people through content, you got to create the content to convince them that you have the solution to their problem. Then you got to convince them to go to your sales page and then buy. When they go to a place like Etsy or Redbubble, they're in the buyer's mindset. not many people, at least I don't go over to Etsy unless I'm doing like keyword research or product research or market research. I don't go to Etsy thinking, let me just browse. Most people don't go to Etsy to window shop, they go to buy. And so what you can do is you can create like templates, planners, cheat sheets, trackers, SOPs, emails, prompt packs, all sorts of stuff, and sell it over on a place like Etsy. Now, what's really important, what I recommend that you do is create variations of something. So create a template, create like a fitness template or fitness planner, then create variations of it. So change the color, change the season, make subtle changes so that gives yourself the best chance of ranking for that keyword without having to reinvent the wheel. In fact, that's what most people are doing over there. Most successful people over on Etsy, they've got one core product and then they've got like 30 variations of it. They'll do like an ADHD planner, but then they'll do it in green and pink and orange and blue. And then they might do like a spring ADHD planner, something like that. So what I would encourage you to do, head on over to Etsy, do a little bit of market research, figure out what people are interested in, what people are buying, and how can you make it unique, right? How can you pivot to the next logical step? So instead of making the same ADHD planner as everyone else or trackers everyone else, what can you do to make it better, faster, or easier? Is there a logical pivot that you can make? And then from there, what I see a lot of people do is that if someone buys from you, include bonuses, but the bonuses are hidden behind an email list. So what they'll do is, let's say I'm selling an ADHD tracker. And then I'll say inside the tracker, hey, I've got a free bonus for you. I want to give you a Notion template, ADHD Notion template. But to get it, you've got to go here and enter your name and your email. They enter their name and their email, they join your mailing list, and then you just send them a link to that Notion tracker. But that's how people are building a mailing list with Etsy off of the platform. Now that is against Etsy's terms of service because Etsy wants to keep their people on their platform and Etsy wants to keep as much money on Etsy as possible. But I see a bunch of people doing it. And as long as you're careful and you're not outright marketing and you're not pissing people off, you should be able to do this too. There's no reason why you can't. But, go to these different marketplaces. In fact, that's what I did with Udemy. I have a bunch of courses over on Udemy or Udemy, depending on where you are in the world. And I said, hey, look, here's an affiliate marketing course. If you want my affiliate marketing templates and cheat sheets, go to this website. They went to the website. They had to enter in their name and their email. They got on my mailing list, and then I could email them links to products that I was selling, links to courses that I was selling, affiliate opportunities, and even YouTube videos. And so I was able to build my mailing list that way, and there's no reason why you can't do that too. So that is number 3. Number 4 are micro memberships. And so this is kind of like number 1, but instead of splitting the amount of money that you're making with someone, you are keeping all of it. And with a micro membership, you are simply building online communities where you're solving a problem and you're getting paid reoccurring. Now, the reason why this is so powerful, A, you're keeping more of the money. B, you're not having to find new customers every single month. You have a built-in customer base that will stay with you as long as they are happy and satisfied with the result that they're getting. So let's look at fitness, for example. Let's say you are helping men in their 40s lose weight. You simply can come out with a micro membership where you're helping men in their 40s in the United States lose 10 pounds. You come up with a framework to help them meet their goals. You include something like maybe online coaching or strategy, and then you include like workshops and stuff, and then get them to converse with each other. If you do that, you'll build. But you might be wondering, well, how do I get people? You can get people in all of the ways that I mentioned. You can get people through paid advertising, Facebook ads, YouTube ads. You can get people by joining free communities. In fact, what you can do is you can use a platform like School and have a free community where you're creating lots of content and you're just inviting people to your school community. As your school community grows and people are talking with each other, it'll start getting recommended by School to other community or to other people that are interested in similar communities. Same thing with Facebook groups. If you have lots of engagement, lots of conversation, it'll start recommending people to your community. And then once a month or every so often, you offer to upgrade people to the premium community where you're charging $29 a month. And then, you open and close that opportunity so that people don't feel like they can just join whenever. And if they're getting lots of value out of the free community, some of them are going to want to upgrade to the paid community. What a lot of people do is they start with paid services first. So like Facebook ads, YouTube ads, and then they use that they build their little community with paid, and then they start social media marketing. They kind of work backwards, and they're able to grow faster because they already have a built-in community that know, like, and trust them. But micro memberships actually work out really well, and you can charge $7, $29, charge less than $50 per month, and I think you'll build something pretty special and pretty nice, and you'll get paid every single month. So number 5, productized service. And the best part about this is you don't need an audience, and you can make cash relatively quickly with this. So what you're going to do is you are going to solve one painful problem for a specific type of person, and then you package it into a service, which makes it scalable and referral friendly. So a couple ideas that you could do here. You could offer AI clip generation. So for example, all of my YouTube videos are cut up into clips for YouTube Shorts and TikToks and Instagrams and all sorts of stuff. You can offer to do that for YouTubers, people that are between, I would say, 5 and 10,000 subscribers. They're growing, but they're not growing as fast as they want. And you can sell them on the idea that in order to grow faster, you might want to put your content on TikTok, put your best performing clips on TikTok, and I'll create those clips for you. Here, I would, once you find some clients, or maybe even create a couple samples for them, use a software like Opus Pro. There's a bunch of them out there now. But use a software like Opus Pro to create these clips for you, and you simply are just kind of doing like arbitrage. Opus Pro is going to charge you a certain amount of money. You can then you can pass that cost off to the consumer, to your customer, and you can have these clips done in like an hour or two. And then you can actually do this in like a package. So you could have like a good, better, best. You can say 10 clips a month will be $20, 30 clips a month is going to be $50, 100 clips a month is $200. And if they start seeing success, they're going to want to pay for more clips. And then you can use the proof to get more clients. And the great thing about this is that your overhead isn't going to increase a ton, but you can simply build it out. And all you need really to get started are like 2 to 5 clients. This is going to take a little bit more work. You're going to have to reach out to people on potentially like Twitch, YouTube, podcasts, let them know that there's an opportunity to help them get more exposure, sell them on the benefits of having their stuff clipped, and don't sell features. I would also recommend that you have some sort of like proof, show them what you can do, and you can potentially make some money. So that is number 5. Number 6, and I think this is always in demand. Local lead gen. Okay, you don't need to be anybody to do local lead gen. So what you can do, for example, here in I'll give you a perfect example. Our dog broke our window earlier this month, and so what did I have to do? I typed in window repair in my city, and so a bunch of things popped up. But what you want to do is you either want to run ads so that you can show up at the top and then sell those ads to window repair people in that city, or you want to help people optimize their Google listing so that they show up inside of the Google map, because one of the most powerful things is that Google map. But you could reach out to local businesses and say, hey, look, I'm collecting leads for this type of business, candlestick makers in Philadelphia. I am generating about 5 leads per day. Do you want to buy these leads off of me for $50 a month, or pay me $1 a lead per month, and you'll keep getting them, and we can revisit this every 6 months. That's a simple way to do it. And if you know like search engine optimization, if you understand how Google works, if you know how to run ads, it's a really powerful thing. And again, you can use Ahrefs, and find the ones that have the lowest cost per click, or CPC, and potentially go that route. So if I were doing this, I would go over to Ahrefs and type in something like window repair or plumbing service or whatever, and then pick a city. Don't go after the large cities. Go after the medium cities. Like where I live has 100,000 people in this area. However, I would say within a span of 30 miles, there's close to, 600,000 people, because I live right between Chicago and Milwaukee. And, if I'm looking for a window repair person and a person's willing to come out and give me an estimate and do it, I might be willing to work with a company up in Racine. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Anyway, getting back to it, local lead gen is always going to be powerful. It's always going to be around. It's one of those things that's always going to be in demand. And so I think this is a good opportunity. So look for cities that are between like 100 and 500,000. I think the CPC is going to be low. lower, I think those businesses are always going to be struggling with marketing. So I think that's a good opportunity. And then the last one we have, I don't think anyone's ever told you about this one before, but what you can do is you can go out and hire a bunch of affiliates. Go out, instead of you doing all of the legwork, it's called joint ventures. You can use companies like ClickBank to help you out with this, or JVZoo, or Digistore24. But instead of you doing all of the content creation, instead of you doing all of the work with a bunch of affiliates. You can also reach out to affiliates manually. Send them emails and let's say you see a content creator that has 30,000 subscribers on YouTube in your niche. Reach out to them and say, hey, look, I've got this product that I want to sell. I'll split the commissions with you 50-50. Any person you bring in and they buy within 90 days, I'll split the commissions with you, and build a relationship that way. You can build a relationship with an infinite number of affiliates. This is how ClickFunnels grew so fast. This is how Go High Level grew fast. They actually went and had affiliates do all the work. Not all the work, but that's how you can grow faster. It's a simple equation. Is it easier for you, one person, to market and grow, or is it easier to have 20 or 30 or 100 people going out marketing your product and service? So one simple thing that you can do is you can offer a digital product. It can be a low ticket offer with a bunch of upsells and downsells. You can do a reoccurring SaaS type of thing like ClickFunnels or Go High Level, but have affiliates do a bunch of the work. Make sure that the affiliate commission's generous. Make sure you have the rules and have it organized, or else it becomes very bad and unmanageable and frustrating, and people could likely sue you. So let me know what you think about those 7 opportunities. All of them don't require you to be on camera. They don't require you to build a following and trying to go viral and all of that good stuff. And of course, make sure you let me know that you stayed until the end of this video. Comment 23-minute mark down below if you stayed until the end. I appreciate you guys staying until the end if you did. And make sure you take action. Find one of these that you like and go all in. Don't wait around. Don't hem and ha. Take action and only go back to the internet to ask questions when you're stuck. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.